Welcome back, everybody. I'm Michelle McCall.
It's STL Roper.
Producer Pat, behind the call, behind the mic, behind everything, fellas. How we doing?
Today is Thursday, January 1st, 2025.
January 2nd.
Oh, I wrote this 2 days ago.
But yeah,
Good
you're
call,
good.
Pat.
January 2nd.
Thank you.
Try it
thank you.
again. New year, new Bluecast.
January 2nd, brand new year of Bluecast.
Yes.
Congratulations to the 69ers.
Super
Yeah.
Bowl
Yeah,
champions.
I got a soundbite for you.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. Let's go.
What's the final?
69ers are so back. It was the year of the 69ers. We started out the year like 2-5, 2-6 through 8 weeks. And we plowed our way all the way through to 10 wins in a row. Took down Mark. The haters said it couldn't be done. Took down Taco. Easiest dub of the year. And then Bryce, poor Bryce, just couldn't even field a lineup. It happens. And they all sunk into oblivion. The 69ers rose to the occasion. And we're back, baby. No shit talking for you boys. 69ers are... The rain has started.
Just saying, I did give you a game, all 3 games.
There you go.
McKenna says, "Hey Divas."
Hey,
Hey,
what
Lou.
up? Welcome to the Bluecast. Shout out McKenna's fantasy team. She made it to the semifinals, so
Yeah.
good shit. She had Cooper Cup, tough scenes.
Final four.
Yeah, Final Four. It was
So-
I lost in that league, unfortunately, in the finals. I was in 2 out of 3 weeks. I was in the champ.
Congrats to Roper for his fantasy football success. But we're going to start off today's show with college football. Penn State rolled past Boise State, covered the spread of minus 12.5.
My pick's
They
looking
won
good.
31-14. Your Heisman candidate, Genty, looked decent.
Okay. He looked better than the actual Heisman, who wasn't even in the playoffs and got
We're-
boat raced by BYU.
We're not talking about.
You brought it. You brought it
right.
up.
It's not in the script.
All
Colorado's
right.
not in the
Well,
script tonight.
it wasn't in the
Genty,
script.
though, looked okay. He looked like he should have. He looked good. He had 100 yards,
Yeah.
30 carries, though. But
Yeah.
he's good. Hey, this is what I'll say
My
about
pick's
Genty.
looking better and better.
Penn State does look good. But Genty's good at breaking tackles.
Yeah, he's a.
What do you
he's
call it? The
He's
yak?
NFL ready, I would say.
The yards after catch or contact. Yards after contact. Yeah.
Yak.
Genty's yakking, bro. Genty's yakking.
NFL ready.
Speaking of yakking and running backs, Cam Scatterboo.
Oh, hold on. Let me get into my
Oh.
segment here. No, first we're going to talk about tired. Is Cam Ward. Cam Ward threw for 190 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first half in the Pop-Tart Bowl, only to sit on the bench and watch his team lose.
Well, it was planned.
Rocco Beck led Iowa State to the Pop-Tart Bowl championship.
Yep.
That is true.
And yeah, this is what I'll say about Cam Ward. I did bet on Cam Ward, and I told him to as well. So know that to start this. But I thought Cam Ward was going to ball out. It was his last game for Miami. I thought he wanted to play good and at least win the game.
Right.
That was not the case. Tell him what was the case.
They sat him after the first half because he only just wanted to be out there to break his touchdown record, like break the record.
He threw 3 touchdowns, only in 190 yards, and that's all he needed to break some records. So after that, he sat on the bench.
Which was planned. It was planned. The second half, he was only supposed to start the first half. So they knew he would. Yeah, they was going into
They
the
knew
game.
he was going to get 3 touchdowns in the first half?
Well, they believed. Yeah. Did you see those defenses? Did
I mean,
you
they-
watch the game?
They did get he got the touchdown. He's a good player, but so
No,
you're
I know.
saying if he didn't break the touchdown record, then it would have been over. He would have not played the second half.
I don't know about that. Maybe they put him out there for like the first drive to
Dude,
get
we
the
got
touchdown. I
screwed
don't-
because he threw 3
But it
touchdowns.
wouldn't have
only in
mattered anyways.
190 yards.
It wouldn't have mattered anyways, even if he didn't get the record, because then he would not have been able to have those yards.
No, if he didn't get him so quickly on 3 touchdowns, he would have played longer.
I mean, I guess that's fair. It's how it went.
that is the way she goes. But the bottom
it's-
line is Cam Ward is an absolute loser for playing in the game just so he can beat some record. That's an all-time loser move.
Yeah.
That is not a team player. If you're an NFL scout, an NFL GM, you note that.
Well, what if he didn't? Other guys don't even play at all. I mean, he played for a half. That's
Dude,
better than
you
nothing.
cannot say that from Iowa State or South Carolina or Illinois or some of these teams. Like, dude, some of these guys are seniors. You don't think Brady Cook wanted to go out and win his last game in a Tiger uniform?
Brady Cook, I totally agree with you there.
So
but
that's
I'm just
why-
saying. But I'm just saying, Cam Ward and like other players, at least he played. There was
He only played
thousands.
to beat the record though, and
That's fair.
then he was worried about getting injured.
yeah, because they could hurt.
He was,
his
I guess, he
draft
wasn't
stock.
too injured before he broke the record.
Well, that's what all he cared about was the record. He didn't
Exactly,
care
is
about
my
the-
point. He's not a
Well,
team
I know,
player,
but
and that's what
these
I'm
bowls.
hating at.
Okay, but these bowls don't mean anything, especially once you're not in the playoffs. These
That
Coach
is true.
Coach Drinkwitz called the Music City Bowl an exhibition game. Like that's the mindset of these players and these coaches. It's throughout the nation.
You're right.
There's thousands of players that sat. West Virginia or whatever, or Marshall had to fold their football team because they had so many transfers.
You're right.
And I'm just saying, like, you can't be mad at them for that. Like, that's you have to be mad at everyone.
I'm mad at him for not. Okay, I'm mad at everyone that does that for not being a team, for not being a team player, and then
Okay.
I'm just saying that it shouldn't just be all on Cam Ward. I mean, that's just like that's what I'm saying is
D. Lou says they don't care about these meaningless bowl games.
okay, but what about the Heisman winner and Shador Sanders? Did they play? They had nothing to play for. They went out there and played still because it was their last game in a Colorado uniform. They respect the logo on the front more than the name on the back.
I mean, yeah.
It's about the name
I
on
mean,
the
you're
front,
right.
not
Some
the name
guys
on the
are-
back, dude.
Some guys aren't built like that.
Cam Ward is not. He's a loser. But on to the Wired, Cam Scattaboo. Cam Scattaboo said before the game, there's nobody out there that can stop me. He had 148 rushing yards on 30 carries, 2 rushing touchdowns, the only passing touchdown of the game for 42 yards, and another 8 catches for 99 receiving yards.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Well, then in true Arizona State fashion, the man puked and rallied. He puked on the sideline and rallied like
That's
a
good.
true Arizona statesman.
Schrader says it's a bad look on Ward. Emo. I don't know what this is.
IMO,
IMO.
In my
in my opinion.
In my
Come on,
opinion.
Pat.
If I play, you should play. He also ignored all media interviews before and after the game. And then Kyle Helms said Mizzou holding it down for the entire SEC. And then D. Lou says I think this was more of a. I think that was more so of respect to Dion. That's a good question though. Talking about Colorado, I think.
Yeah, Colorado has a sense of team pride. They have a culture.
And then what happened? BYU took him behind the
They
shed.
lost to a good team, yeah. Like I said, they lost. But at least they played. At least they went out there and played one more last time and
That's
thanked the
true.
fans for coming.
Yep.
You think Cam Ward gives a shit about any of the fans in Miami?
No. Nope. Sure, Sanders.
Where is Cam Ward even from?
He originally played at Washington State, correct?
I
Didn't
don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, Shador Sanders and Travis aren't from Colorado in your defense, I guess, either. But they played there 2 years,
And
3 years or 2? I
two.
think just 2.
Too. Well, and shout out to the Colorado fan, the 100-year-old grandma or whatever. Have you guys
Yeah, I've
never
seen
seen
her.
that?
I have not seen that.
Oh, she's a fun one. It's her and what's the Loyola woman?
Sister Jean.
Sister
Sister
Jean.
Jean.
Sister Jean and her need to have a
All right, we're getting off track here.
Duel.
Let's go back to Cam Scattaboo and Arizona State
There you
because
go.
that was the best playoff game
Well,
so
yeah,
far.
It's a classic.
Did Arizona State save the SMUs and the Indiana from not looking like complete idiots?
You
I
want
guess?
to know something funny? That people are saying that Arizona State won the game, and people don't even realize it. Get
Really?
this: there's
How
a
did they win?
rule. There's a rule that there was a field goal blocked that by Texas blocked a field goal on Arizona State, and if you watch the ball, it hits the ground of the end zone and bounces over the upright. In the rule book, if a opposing player touches the ball, like blocks it, and it
goes.
still goes over the upright, it can hit the ground and go over the upright, it should still count. That's in the rule book.
When was that kick? That wasn't in the fourth quarter, was
no,
it?
it was. It was like to win the game or something like that.
No, I watched the whole game.
I don't know, but I'm just saying that this was
So there's 3 points that Arizona State should have had.
right
Well,
instead
the
of
most-
overtime.
I didn't know. I didn't see that part of the game. But they had an epic comeback. They were down 16 points in the fourth quarter. Looked like they were dead. Hadn't scored a touchdown all game. Been stopped multiple times, 4th and goal on the goal line by a great Texas defense. And Cam Scadaboo throws trick play, 42 yards. He underthrows it, and I go, oh, this is getting picked. Receiver just cuts the route short and straight to the end zone. Had a great
Ultimate
route.
football guy play was one of the Cam Scadaboo rushing touchdowns when his O lineman literally picked him up
threw
and
him.
just literally just sumo flopped him into the end zone. Like,
That's
you're getting
hilarious.
in with me.
What a football team. Bryce said in one of the group chats, I called an Arizona State game back in October.
Yeah.
They were +5, and I said, that's terrible. They're at home, and they're good. And they won outright that game.
There you go.
I lost a bad. I don't know who they played in the Big 12, but I bet against Arizona State early in the season, just thinking they were still bad from the year before. They whooped up whatever team I bet on, and I was like, learned my lesson.
They
Arizona
turned it
State
around.
early.
They turned it around quickly. I don't know if you remember. There was also they've always been struggling at kicking. Their field goal kicker was cut, not even halfway through the season, and the coach had the press conference and was like, "Any Arizona State student, please walk on and try out. We need you."
I feel like that's a common theme for Arizona State kickers. I feel like they just have some freshman pledge. Come
Right.
out
Too
and do
many
kicks.
partying. Too many parties.
He's the kicker pledge. He's got to go try out
Oh,
for the
and then
football team.
Speaking of
every
Arizona State,
semester.
there was some goober that Cam Scadaboo and the head coach have called out on Twitter because some guy on Twitter today named Neil tweeted a picture that Cam Scadaboo was out at 8:30 p.m. the night before at a bar, but he wasn't even drinking alcohol. He doesn't drink alcohol, but he tried to frame it that way. And was saying, we'll never be a serious football school. This guy, and he tried to frame it that he was out at
Partying.
1 a.m., 2 a.m.
Lame.
Yeah, but they called him out for it. So
That's good. But that game was incredible. Arizona State 16 points in the fourth quarter. They lost in double overtime, 39-31. But the most controversial call, I guess, besides that field goal thing, was the targeting.
Oh, yeah,
In the
that
fourth
also.
quarter, Arizona State was driving on that midfield. A defenseless receiver was hit helmet to helmet, and
Yeah.
no targeting penalty was called.
And it could have changed the direction of the game because
Dude,
they had to
that would
punt,
have been
right?
that was yes, because instead of it being a first down on their 35, it was a 4th and 10 from the 50.
Matthew McConaughey made a call. No, it's actually a joke. Even people were saying this is why people think it's rigged. Do you think Texas gets that call? Yep. They get that call 100% of the times. It's blue blood bias. Bama gets that call. Anyone else? But Arizona State, if that happened to Mizzou, oh, dude, I'm storming the fucking NCAA headquarters. I would have been on the way.
Raiding the football playoff board.
But yeah, those refs are they
That's-
piss me off sometimes.
Definitely wasn't the ref decision on that play. Someone made a
Oh, yeah,
call
that too.
and said that we can't have
So it
Arizona
was
State
the
win like
textbook
this.
definition of the rule. Didn't they call it targeting on the field, and then they had to
No.
overturn it?
They didn't review it at first. They weren't gonna, and then Arizona State coach came out as the player was injured.
Yeah.
Someone was trying to argue they only call these targeting penalties if the player is injured. This player was injured.
Well, yeah. Well,
They still didn't.
And he was defenseless too. The guy had a head start and led with his helmet.
Led with his helmet.
It'd be one thing if he turned his shoulder and but whatever. We're getting into semantics. It's over now.
It's
But-
over. What I didn't understand is that I was listening on the radio because I was driving somewhere for overtime. Texas got the ball twice. Arizona State scored a touchdown with the PAT. Texas matched it, scored with the PAT. Arizona State almost had him, I think. Texas had a 4th down
Yeah.
on that drive. One
Fourth and-
play away.
4th and 13. Yeah, and they scored on that play.
I remember listening to that
It
one.
was honestly a bad weekend for Kirk Herbstreit or like Paul Feinbaum. The whole SEC thinking heads and ESPN, they overrated us and they talked so down on Indiana. That pisses me off, honestly. That pisses me off for Indiana. They talked them down for like losing by 10 points to Notre Dame away in Notre Dame. And then fucking Bama loses to fucking Michigan like the frauds they are. The team lost to fucking Oklahoma. I've been saying it for fucking months. The team did not belong. But they're just like, oh, it's Bama. They're better. SEC. I'm in the SEC, and I should be rooting for my conference, but they're making us look like dumbasses. Like, it's idiotic. They're just driving clicks and thinking that, oh, well, we're the talking heads. We know better than everyone else. Indiana's not a real football school, so they don't belong. What? It should just be. It should be based objectively. Not. I get it that it's subjectively, but you should just not fucking say Bama is the better team and Indiana only with one loss. They didn't play anybody. Dude, Georgia had the #1 strength of schedule, and they just fucking lost to Notre Dame. Who Notre Dame lose to? Northern Illinois. What the fuck? This is why we play the fucking games. This is wins and losses.
So you're mad about Notre Dame being in the playoffs?
No, I'm not. It's making my point that, like, oh my God, Notre Dame beat Georgia, who is the #1 strength of schedule. Like, so everyone thought that Georgia was this undefeated team or whatever, but they're beatable. And clearly Bama's beatable.
Well, Alabama beat Georgia.
Well, yeah, that's true. And exactly. It's just,
and who did Bama lost to Michigan? Who did Michigan beat?
Michigan, Ohio State.
Who's still playing. So there's so much parity in the league. We can go on with this argument for over and over again. You know my opinion, my feelings on Indiana. They didn't beat any team that was over 500 all year.
They beat Michigan.
That was the one team they beat over 500 all year. So that's how I look at their schedule. I know a win should just be a win because that's how it's always been in college football. But with the transfer portal now and mega conferences, someone's got to go back to the drawing board. They need to reimagine college football. So much money involved. They can
really
do.
I agree.
In the last game that we'll talk about, Ohio State whooped Oregon in the Rose Bowl, 41-21.
I thought it was closer. I didn't know that.
Well, they was a whooping in the first half. It was like 30-0.
No.
And then
I don't want to talk about it.
Oregon came back. I did not see that coming.
The granddaddy of them all. It was such a dumb game. I don't know why I bet on Oregon. I'm so stupid. Should have known when they got ran all over by a Penn State and almost lost to them in the fucking Big Ten. Whatever.
Way she goes.
But God, what was it?
Sorry you bet on them.
I had
It's
Oregon.
okay.
I had Oregon in the futures. I have to throw that one out.
I mean, it was just like, I don't know. I lost my point. It's whatever.
Okay.
All right, we're getting into Blues hockey. Blues
All
are
right.
Here we go.
2-1 since our
Sure,
last
yeah.
episode. The Blues have scored 15 goals in their last 3 games, including a big 6-2 win versus the Blackhawks in the Winter Classic at Wrigley Field.
Yes, dude.
What a classic.
We invaded Wrigley. We took it over. Busch North. Enterprise North. Dude, they were stunned. We had fucking Towman in their head. Even fucking Bennington and all the players heard the fans like
Who
counting
would've
down the
known?
goals.
Towman
Ja-
echoing through Wrigley.
Jamie said on air today at 2:00, right when they came on, Jamie said he was just in awe of how many Blues fans were in attendance.
Good. That's good. I'm glad they showed up.
We invaded the North.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Cam Fowler scored 2 goals. It was his 1,000th career game.
Yep.
Coco player of the game.
Justin Falk had 3 points, a goal and 2 assists. Kyrou had a goal. If you remember the last Winter Classic, he set the outdoor record. He scored a hat trick, didn't he?
Right.
Yeah.
And also 5 shots in this game. Roper and I lost all of our terrible parlays.
Well, due to fucking Connor Bedard. Dude just needed one more shot. One more shot. That's all I needed.
I needed that. I tailed him on that same one. That one 10 for would have paid out 100.
Because we had Dylan Holloway, Jordan Cairo goals, Blues puck line, and
just need
Connor
Bedard.
Bedard's shots.
No, we need Jake Neighbors.
Oh, and
shots.
we got that.
And
Whatever, fraud.
my other one I had was just Dylan Holloway point. He scored 3, I think, or 2 at least.
He scored 1.
He scored 1 goal, but he had another assist earlier. So I just needed a point.
Oh, nice.
And then I had 2 Robert Thomas shots on goal, which he did get. They credited him with 2 at the end of the game.
Oh my God.
I didn't think he had it. He hit 2 posts, dude. 2 posts. And then he did Buchnevich with 2 shots. He finished with 1.
Ugh. Yeah, Bucci wasn't really involved in that game.
Terrible, terrible parlays. We were dum-dums. We should have just bet Blues puck line. But that's what we get. That's what we deserve. Alex had the script, though. Our buddy
Dude.
Alex said, I asked, Alex, who you think is scoring today? Man's never made a sports bet in his life. Drove us over to DraftKings before the game on New Year's Eve. And then he goes, I saw something about Cam Fowler playing his 1,000th game. I'm like, he might score. I'm like, dude, that would be a nice narrative, man. That would be a nice narrative. I'm going to put $10, $15, $20 on Cam Fowler anytime goal just for shits and gigs. And at DraftKings, they had almost every skater on both teams besides Cam Fowler.
Yeah.
They
They
knew.
knew.
Ugh.
Because he was hot recently and scored in a few games
In
before.
the Nashville game.
So, and he scored 2 goals. Imagine the odds on Cam Fowler 2 goals.
Oh my God.
Jesus. Yeah, Talman, you said was there. You sent a thing in the group chat about Ryan Whitney from Spit and Chicklets saw a Blackhawks practice, and they were doing this. Supposed to be a fun drill at the end of their outdoor practice, where they were 5 pucks on each blue line, and they were split up into red and white jerseys. They did a full ice skate, grab a puck, and then go on a breakaway, and then they had to keep going until all the pucks were gone.
So they got scored on.
So they were all scored. Ryan Whitney said they were there for over 35 minutes,
One
and they only
goal.
scored 1 goal in
And
35
you were
minutes.
just like you said you're just looking around like hoping Mrazek just lets him in.
He did start letting a few in because he felt bad for him.
And whoever's the other backup goalie too, I guess.
Wish we would have known that stat before. We could have just taken Blues money line. Should have just taken Blues money line. But
Smashing.
I even said it too, dude.
I cooked up a different one on my phone before we went. It was like Holloway goal, Cairo shots on goal, and then like one other like shots on goal. And I was like, it's always a coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yeah.
Those were some demoralizing losses I had over the weekend. So I'm taking a betting break until the Super Bowl.
And I listened to Spit and Chicklets though. A good portion recap of the Winter Classic. All the Spit and Chicklets crew like hung out with the Blues coaching staff.
Yeah.
And Grinelli, obviously a Bruins fan, had been like people took him out of context when he was discussing the Montgomery, like, oh, they're not going to re-sign his contract or whatever, and they're promoting the assistant coach to the associate coach. He might be the new guy, which he is now, and like Grinelli was saying this over in the offseason, but Jim Montgomery fucking recognized Grinelli and was like, oh, you're the guy that wanted me out of Boston, and grabbed him in a headlock and gave him nuggies and shit. And like, oh my God, they
That's
were.
funny.
If they're gonna be in the locker room, they gotta get joshed a few times.
And I guess they were
Hazed.
dressed in all that like light blue, like the coaching gear or whatever. Like it was all light blue.
Those were expensive
And-
coats.
Yes, and Ryan Whitney called. Someone said that they're looking like the girl from the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory before she like blows up. That's what they looked like.
That's funny.
That is funny.
But yeah, they had a good time there, dude.
Bennington's mask featured Yachty, Albert, and the same number 50, Mr. Uncle Charlie, Adam Wainwright,
Yes.
painted on it. Did you guys see that one?
I did see
dude,
that.
that's all you should have known. He made insane saves. Do you guys see those saves?
Yeah.
a
he
couple
made?
breakaway saves.
yeah.
He played great.
Yeah.
I was seeing shit on Twitter, people saying, we give Bennington the Winter Classic because he's our guy, but going down the stretch, he was trying to argue it should be Joel Hofer because the team plays better in front of him. He's playing a little hotter right now.
I think it's just both right now. They're both playing well now.
It's both. I hope Bennington gets his mojo after this. He was
Yeah.
rubbing elbows with the celebs, with John Hamm and
Yeah.
Wayno. And
Yep.
Dude, they had a fun locker room. Like, That's what also the Spin Chicklets guys were saying. Like you know how like they were all slamming Bud Lights or whatever, and Cam Fowler won that Cocoa Cup MVP, the Gretzky MVP of the game.
Mhm.
Which funny story, it's Gretzky that hands out that award in the post game. Shen had texted him at intermission and was like, I'm gonna scratch, because I guess they had thought that it was gonna be a car was given out, but it's just a trophy. So Shen was really trying to get it for the car.
Yeah.
And was like, hey, Gretz, watch this. I'm gonna go fight and score a goal. Be ready to give me the keys. And that's why
Fight
people
Nick Foligno.
Yeah, that's what they
captain
talked
on
before,
captain.
They talked before the game that they were going to fight in the game, regardless of score.
That's pretty epic. Captain on captain.
Yeah.
Blues and Blackhawks outside.
Yeah, they talked on the warm ups like, "Hey, we're gonna go. Just let me
some
know."
point.
Yeah.
Nice. And then last Winter Classic thing I got is, where do you guys think the next one should be?
I think they already announced it, right? Or
Did they?
I would hope it goes back to Buffalo, honestly. I think Buffalo deserves it.
The next one, I think Detroit should deserve it.
They already had one.
They've already had one.
And at University of Michigan.
They
have an
They had
indoor.
Toronto and
They have
Detroit.
an indoor football stadium.
Yeah.
It would be the
It
one
would-
in Detroit would be at Comerica Park, the Tigers Stadium. That
I
would
was
have to
arguing
be.
with people on the Spit and Chicklets Twitter, and someone was trying to say Denver, Mile High, or Coors Field, which could be cool. I'm not
Which
gonna
Coors
say.
Field has had the Stadium Series. They've had a Stadium Series, I know for sure.
Okay,
You can
but-
look that up.
No, well, maybe you could be right, but I know they had one at the
Lake
Air
Tahoe-
Force
they had-
Academy.
And they had one at Lake Tahoe, unless that's the same one.
They didn't host that
That's
one.
the
That wasn't
Heritage
theirs.
Classic.
No, Heritage Classic's always in Canada.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
But I
That's
know
their
for a
outdoor game.
fact they've had a Stadium Series, but obviously it wasn't a Winter Classic.
All right,
So
I'll look it up right now. But anyways, this guy was trying to argue Colorado needs a game, and I clowned him and said Colorado had their chance to host the game, and they chose Air Force Academy. And I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was a logistical nightmare.
yeah, it's like
It took
with
people
parking.
5 hours to get into the stadium. Someone died leaving the stadium tragically.
Yeah.
A fan got ran over. So, yeah, I don't think Denver should host the game because of that.
I think it should be in Florida.
No way. They did it in LA already. No way. They're not doing it in Fort. Where in Fort?
Yeah, you're right.
Tampa?
You're right, Adam.
I know.
2016 was at Coors Field.
The Blackhawks.
Blackhawks.
Blackhawks are in every fucking outdoor game.
Or
You know
wait,
they
no,
fucking
it
suck.
wasn't. It was versus the Red Wings.
Oh.
But the
Oh,
Blackhawks had
which makes-
another one that year. They played Minnesota Wild.
Which makes sense. Why the Blackhawks, Detroit and Colorado. That was like the big rivalry. You remember that?
Thomas
the
Vanek
90s?
scored a goal in this game. Oh my God.
You know what I'm talking about, Nick? The rivalry between the Avs and
Yeah,
Red
going
Wings.
back to Patrick Waugh versus Chris Osgood.
yeah.
Someone suggested I would be down for this. Blues versus Avalanche at Arrowhead.
I mean, yeah, I guess I'd go to that.
Pat, would you go to a Blues game at Arrowhead Stadium?
That'd be nuts.
I think it'd be pretty cool.
Oh.
Other Blues games since we last spoke in, the Blues lost a stinker 4-2 at home against the Sabres. I bet on a money line on that game and lost like a dum-dum.
For the next Winter Classic, I'm on NHL.com
What do we got?
or Trade Talk NHL. They said we know the NHL has already agreed in principle with Florida Panthers and Miami Marlins to host an outdoor game next season.
Wow.
So it could be that.
The Cup champs going down to South Beach.
Yeah.
Ice is going to melt pretty quick,
That's why
no?
I said Florida. I think he was hinting at Florida.
Ice is going to be a little choppy.
Yeah.
I guess.
Blues lost 4-2 against the Sabres. I couldn't even tell you who scored that game. I know Nathan Walker scored one in the third, and then Bennington let in another softie. That's why I was kind of worried going. Not worried, but I think that's kind of why I didn't take Blues money line. There was something in the back of my head like Bennington might just let in a couple stinkers. Like, what if Bedard lit it up?
Yeah.
You see what Pat Maroon did for any of his friends or family that came up and got tickets from him?
What do you do?
He made them wear Blackhawks gear. They were only allowed to root for Blackhawks.
if they were there on his tickets.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair. I mean, it's fair.
But I mean, yeah, it's just
It's tough.
They wear
I would have not gone then.
all blue stuff underneath and
No.
one Blackhawks
No,
jersey
no,
over.
I couldn't even do that. I'm sorry. I'm not
couldn't do
going
it?
then.
Yeah.
No, I love you, Patty, but I'm not going.
And then Blues won 7-4 against a very bad Trashville Predators.
But that
almost
was
a
epic,
week
yeah.
ago.
Yep.
That was 11 goals in that game. 7-4.
Which games are you going to in January?
I'm going to, I think, the Anaheim game.
Oh, they're gonna honor
Cam
Fowler.
1,000th game.
1,000th game
Yeah,
there.
I think I have that too. I think it's
It's the 9th.
the 7th. I think I'm going on the 7th then.
Oh, you're going against the Wild.
Yeah.
No,
there you
wait,
go.
no. The 7th they play at Minnesota.
Well, then it's the 9th.
You going up to Minnesota, Pat?
My dad wanted to go.
That would have been cold as you know what right now with the polar vortex coming.
Yeah, we got the
Yeah.
snowstorm coming Sunday. Prepare, STL.
Prepare.
Yeah,
Get your milk and eggs right now.
Should we switch gears?
One more hockey thing I got.
Okay.
I'm gonna give an update on Blues prospects at the World Juniors.
Yes.
Yes.
We got 2 Blues players in the top 5 in points
Yep.
before the last games were played today. That was Dalibor Dvorsky with 7 points, 3 goals and 4 assists for Team Slovakia. And then Jacob Stansel
Nice.
with 7 points, the same, 3 goals, 4 assists.
Who does he play for?
He plays for the Czech Republic
Okay.
and the junior team. The Blues are bringing over European prospects after their draft year and letting them play in the juniors in Canada.
Nice.
And I think this is very important for their development because guys playing in Europe, yeah, they can be good, but they're playing against grown men, guys who are like 25, 30 years old. These dudes are 17, 18, 19, and 20.
Right.
They need to be playing with kids their own age. We bring them over, we let them play against these Canadian American kids their own age, and they dominate. Jacob Stansel is lighting up. Our first round pick, who's also a defenseman for Team Czechoslovakia, Adam Juracek, he's only got 2 assists, but he's playing in the OHL.
Yep.
Another big Czech, we got Adam Jeko.
Yes.
Why do these guys, dude, looking at their elite prospects, 6'2", 6'1", 6'3", 200 pounds. Like, these guys are NHL ready. They're showing it at the national level. We also got our 2 Swedes who are lighting it up. Otto Stenberg with 6 points.
He's a defenseman.
No, that's the forward. Theo Lindstein.
Oh, Theo Lindstein.
He's
He's
the
the
one that got
defenseman.
hurt. He's the one that collided in practice.
He's not having the best tournament. He's got 3 assists, but he's got a
shit.
lot of minuses. So he's playing in Sweden though.
Okay.
And then Yuri Pekarchek, I get that name. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Pekarchek, he plays on Dalibor Dvorsky's line, top line
Yeah.
for Team Slovakia. He's got 5 points. And then another guy, Andrzej Koz, has got 1 goal. So 8 out of the Blues' 9 prospects have at least 1 point
And they're all pluses.
in the tournament. No, not plus. Some Theo Lindstein's been on the ice for a lot of goals. Because I mean, Slovakia and Czech Republic, they're decent. We have a lot of guys, like 4 guys on those 2 teams.
Yeah.
They're gonna get beat by Finland, Sweden, USA, and Canada.
Yeah. Speaking
well,
of that,
Canada
USA just
Canada's not going to beat anyone.
Canada
No.
lost to Latvia.
They lost to
Yeah.
Latvia and U.S. on the
USA
same
beat
day.
'em.
It was on at the same time as the Winter Classic. That was a great game.
USA.
Shout out to Winter Ballpark Village. Bennett almost won a beer stein competition, even though he got last.
nice.
One more World Junior tidbit before we move on. I think the Blues knew something about this lack of Canadian prospects coming in because that is not just a coincidence. Blues always drafted good old Canadian boys, and all just of a sudden they stop and draft all these European guys. Look at Team Canada this year.
No?
It was weird. I heard Brian Whitney say on Spin Chicklets, all the top 5 picks from last year's draft, like Tija Ginla, and then I can't remember 2 or 3 other guys. None of them are playing on Team Canada. I don't know if they're injured or if they're playing in the AHL. I don't know where they're playing, but Team Canada, not a good look. Good look for the Blues, though. Our guys are lighting it up with no Canadian prospects.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So we did watch the Winter Classic at Ballpark Village. That was pretty sick. Good atmosphere in there. They had the New Year's celebration afterwards, so they had like a
Yeah.
makeshift ball and ribbons in there. They kicked us out promptly after the game, though.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Blues organist was there.
Ah,
Jeremy Boyer.
Jeremy
Jeremy,
Boyer.
my dad knows him.
His
Yeah,
whole family
he
was
was playing
sitting right
tunes.
by us.
Nice.
It was a great time in there. And but I think let's move into football now. Let's get back to spring football.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Cat-
Battlehawks just released their schedule. Their first game of the season is going to be on Friday, March 28th. It's an away game at Houston.
Friday night.
Friday Night Lights are coming back.
Yep.
And the Dome has one Friday night game, couple Saturday night games. Really, I think only like 2 day games.
Really?
We got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday games all weekends.
Nice.
So home game overlaps for like spring equinoxes.
Let's hear it.
There are 12 dates with 2 teams at home,
Wow.
which could be between like Blues and City, Cards City, Blues Cards, Battlehawks and Cards. And there is one date with 3 of them all at home, and it's April 13th.
And that just so happens to be the same weekend of the Frozen 4 championship at Enterprise.
And the final's the 12th, thankfully. So we could make it happen. Well, we'd have to choose. Do we go to Battlehawks versus DC opening game, or we go Cards versus Phillies 1:15, and then followed by City versus Columbus?
Might do Battlehawks and City that day.
Yeah, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it if I'm working City that night. That's what sucks. Is gonna have to get to work. So maybe I'll do halftime Battlehawks and go straight to
How many days were there? 12?
Yeah, 12 dates with 2 teams at home at least.
I
on the
make a
same day.
Lucas promise that I will go to at least 6 of those days. At least 6 of those dates, I will go to both of the games.
Well, some of them are like
I'll make it
Blues at
happen.
Blues at 7, Cards at 7.
Might not be there for the whole game or from start to finish of the game, but I'll make it to 6 out of 12 of those.
You would have to
shooting for 50%.
Unfortunately, that's not gonna happen, Nick, because every fucking the only
I can do it. Give me the phone.
Look at it. They're
I'll
all
circle
at
my probable
7 or
wins.
6. They're fucked.
This April 13th, we'll hit Cardinals first. And then I can hit 3 on this day. I can hit all of them. Cardinals, Phillies, 1:15. We'll stay there for a little bit. March down to by a little bit, I mean maybe like 2 innings, 3 innings. Then go down to the Dome by 2 o'clock. And then City at 3. Or no, it's 6. We can hit all 3 on that day. These Blues and Cardinal ones are going to be hard because Blues weekend games are expensive.
Yeah.
So I got to really think about that. This April 26th, Battlehawks. I don't want to leave a Battlehawks game early. I'd rather be the other way.
I think he's taking back his statement.
July
Telling you it's
13th.
impossible.
It'll be hot as balls out, but we'll do Cardinals 1:15 versus the Braves, and then City. Oh, it's gonna be really hot.
You're already
I already
regretting
know
it.
it.
That's what I was
How
saying.
about you try and go to 6 games during those days? That's
Yes,
possible.
I don't have to do both of them. I can
Yes,
just do
Right.
you have
6 of them.
to 6
and then have the
games.
other game on your phone while you're
Yes.
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 There,
There you
you
go.
go.
All right, that works.
You
My-
can switch off. Maybe you'll go to Cards one week, and then you're going to Battlehawks, and you're streaming.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
long as
All the
it's
way
6
around.
during those dates, we'll allow it.
All
There you
right.
go.
Stay
There you
tuned
go.
on that one for my spring challenge.
Here's a challenge I have for you guys. I want you guys to do this year.
Hmm.
First game is St. Louis City.
Uh-huh.
We're not
against-
marching all the way.
You're not marching.
Ride my bike. I'm gonna ride a
You
bike
gotta-
all the way.
You gotta do the walk. You gotta do the walk. I think you guys
So
need
far,
to do.
dude.
We were always joking about how we would do it for Blues, to do it all the way down to Enterprise Center.
My Blues fandom runs much harder than my City fandom.
Dude, I think you could do it. I want to get it big. I want to make it like into like a thing. That's what I'm trying to do here, guys. It's the walk. TM. Shout out Kyle Helms if he's still in the chat.
He might be.
Dude, I want to, like, you know what I'm saying, though? Like, make it like a Facebook group and, like, get, like, a bunch of City fans. That would make, like, an actual, like, national storyline or something.
It
Dude.
could. It could.
It could.
From the
Anything could.
Amsterdam-
Sponsored by
Could.
Lucas.
Amsterdam bar. Yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
But you have to walk in it. Pat, are you able to walk?
I would walk. What day is it?
It's like February 22nd or whatever.
Oh, it's
What,
gonna
is
be
that during the
cold.
week?
It's not going to be that cold in February.
February's not cold. All right, we'll see.
It's
St.
on a
Louis, so-
Saturday.
Well, yeah, no shit.
Oh no! I was.
What time does the game start?
Like 7 p.m. So
What time does the walk have to start? Then?
So what we do is we listen. It's not that bad. We watch Premier League games at Amsterdam,
Mhm.
and we drink and stuff. And then I don't know. Last year we left around like noon. We went to 7-Eleven, got some Bud Heavies or whatever, like 32 ounces or whatever, or 25 ounces,
and walked with them.
and just walked with them all the way to. We stopped at different bars. We stopped at RP Armory.
Drew Lou is D. Lou is asking where they walk to and from.
Amsterdam Tavern over by Tower Grove Park off Morgan Ford.
It's where you start
Yes.
We start by watching Premier League soccer. You don't have to watch Premier League
in the
soccer,
morning.
but
You have to.
well, yeah, maybe.
If you're gonna be part of the
You're
walk,
part of the walk. That's where it starts.
You gotta be at Amsterdam. We gotta get Amsterdam involved too.
Get them to sponsor it.
Yep.
So yeah, we're all meet at Amsterdam, and then we march from there. And we made stops. Like we stopped at a Armory. We stopped at a bar in SLU University. I forget the name of the bar off the top of my head. Maybe someone in the chat can help me out. But we stopped at a bar there. We made stops. Like it wasn't just all concurrent
Okay.
because it was from like noon till we didn't have to be there till like 6 and tailgate
Right.
and get drunk. I think it would be a fun atmosphere. It's a once a year
he
thing.
gave
Annual.
an emoji with his eyes open, like with red cheeks, like oh.
I mean, it's
I think I know who D. Lou is now. I figured it out.
who is it?
It's Darren.
Oh, Darren.
What up, Darren?
What up?
up, Darren?
It took me
Darren's-
2 and 2
Darren's
together.
gonna walk. Let's see, Amsterdam. I'm looking up this walk right now. Shit. hang on.
It is far, but it's an awesome time, and you make many stops. So
Exactly. So we'll consider this plan.
I'm actually might be in.
We gotta walk to Energizer Park. So it's an hour and 54-minute walk, 4.5 miles.
That's not bad. I
It's
thought that
not.
was a lot worse.
It's under 5 miles. Not bad.
No.
You can do under 5
Exactly.
miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only a 2-hour walk, but we space it out.
Yeah.
So
I got one last Battlehawk thing I want to get into before we get into the Twitter sphere. Hakeem the Dream Butler is set to return to the Battlehawks. Our greatest wide receiver last year. He had 45 catches and led the league with over 652 yards and 5 touchdowns. He loves playing in the Dome, dude. I love players who love being in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Hakeem the Dream Butler could be in the NFL on a practice squad somewhere. He's good enough.
Yeah.
Could be a wide receiver 3 on a
Travis
shitty
Feeney.
team.
Travis Feeney wants to be here. That defensive lineman. He
Nice.
always
Oh,
is
yeah.
pro SEL. He's always on 101.
Awesome.
RIP AJ. We're moving on with Max Duggan.
Max Duggan and the Horned Frog.
We're back.
It's 3.
Yep, the 3.
What if he doesn't win the job? What if it's the San Jose State guy?
Or that too. I'm okay with that too. I want it to be a healthy competition. Might as well. Keep our options open, and we're going to have a mobile quarterback, boys. That's
Max-
what's needed.
Max Duggan is going to like throwing to Hakeem Butler. He's a lot like a wide receiver he had at TCU. The guy who's also on the Chargers now, Quentin Johnson.
Yeah.
Big, tall wide receiver. Just chuck it up somewhere. Fuck it, he'll go get it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to Battlehawks football. I'm getting excited. All right, let's move on to the Twitter sphere.
Go for it.
First tweet I want to mention is I saw this guy on Twitter. He keeps popping up in my feed.
Yes, D. Lou McCarron did leave.
Yep.
He's gone. You guys ever heard of Sal Betts? Just some betting account.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, I wanted to read one of his tweets because he had a bunch of player incentives. A lot of players who just need a few more yards or a few touchdowns this week. Mike Evans, all he needs is 5 catches and 85 yards for a $3 million bonus. Geno Smith only needs 186 passing yards for a $2 million bonus. He's playing the Rams.
Yeah.
He also earns another $10 million if Seattle wins and finishes the season with 10 wins. $4 million on the line for the Seahawks and Geno Smith. Tony Pollard only needs 83 rushing yards for a $250,000 bonus. J.K. Dobbins only needs 58 rushing yards for a $150,000 bonus. Saquon, I don't think is going to get a chance to break his record.
No, he's not.
Well, they already said.
He needs
Not
100
playing.
yards and 1 yards. Oh my God, he's playing his former team, the Giants, and they're not letting him play.
No.
You really think someone would try to go out there and injure him?
Well, not that they
They
would
just don't want to
try.
take the chance.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
and they don't. Yeah, they just don't. Yeah.
Here's a defensive one. Dante Fowler only needs a half a sack. I don't even know you can get a half a sack. He needs, half a sack to
You-
cash out $1.5 million bonus.
You get credit for half a sack if it's like a 2-team
Gotcha.
or 2
Yeah.
guy.
That makes
I
sense.
do want to say this about Saquon. Shout out to Saquon for keeping the record of Eric Dickerson.
Well, it wasn't even his choice, dude.
Ooh.
Well, no, what I'm saying is like Eric Dickerson did it in less games too, and
That's true.
yeah, and I'm just saying I think Saquon said that on like Eric Dickerson still deserves a record. I know I did awesome this year, but like that I think he did say that or say something like that.
You talking about?
Saquon, he
Oh.
he when talking about the record, because Eric Dickerson did it in lower
What?
number of games.
Yeah, because they add another game. It's 17 games
right.
now scheduled.
exactly.
I got a tweet. Speaking of football,
Uh-huh.
the Blues, after beating the Nashville Predators 7-4, they tweeted a final score right next to the Chicago Bears and Seahawks, who only finished 6-3. 21,000 likes, 21K.
Mm-hmm. Would you comment underneath it?
I said LMAO and posted a pic of the Chicago sports teams' records, and they're all pissed.
It's like the sad meme of all the people on the bus, and like it's supposed to be they look out one window and good, and it's one window bad. But Roper found one where like all the windows are covered and it's bad, and it's just like all the Chicago.
And then they
teams.
ran over the Chicago White Sox guy,
the worst of them all.
41 121. Some guy tried cooking me and said, yet the Cardinals lost the series to the 121 loss White Sox. I said, trust me, I'm aware of how bad the Cards were this past year. You can't hurt me.
That's good. I don't know if you guys heard this one, but a massive, massive upset in the college hockey world. The defending D1 national champions, Denver University, lost to a club team. The UNLV Las Vegas beat Denver 7-6 in a shootout.
In a shootout, and they actually have like the same jerseys as New Jersey. I don't know if you saw their jerseys. Like, you know how New Jersey has the jersey?
Yeah.
The UNLV jerseys are exactly alike, but it just says UNLV instead of Jersey.
With
But
the stripes.
yeah, I just remember Frank the Tank Fleming say he's gonna sue their asses. But dude, how about those
compliment.
UNLV hockey players? They're about to have the spring semester of their lives, dude.
What a-
Those guys
What a win.
are about to be partying their asses off. Good for
Well,
them.
they're D1 now, but Maryville Hawks. Give a shout out to the local Maryville hockey. They beat Wisconsin earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh yeah, Bryce remembers. I was
Or was it Maryville or was it Lindenwood?
Lindenwood beat. Lindenwood also has a great
Maryville had a
hockey
good win too. Maybe it's
Lindenwood has like the former recruiter for Michigan and brought a bunch of guys there, and with the NIL deals here in Missouri, just taking advantage of the NIL laws.
Guess they like playing out there. I got another Wired versus Tired here for us.
Okay.
Wired is the Pop-Tart Bowl and their genius marketing idea.
It's a great.
You
idea.
said bowl games don't matter. I love the Pop-Tart Bowl with a passion,
all
man.
right, that one.
How cool is the Pop-Tart Bowl? The trophy on the top has a toaster built into it. They put actual Pop-Tarts in. Then the whole game, they just have these Pop-Tart guy
Mascots.
mascot with the stupidest looking faces on and their arms like running around. And the end of the game, the
gets
MVP, no, the MVP gets to pick what flavor he wants sacrificed. And Rocco Beck, Iowa State, he won, so he picked
Cinnamon roll.
cinnamon roll Pop-Tarts. And the Pop-Tart runs across the field and goes, yeah! And he gets on top of a giant life-size,
come true.
a giant life-size toaster, and he goes down into it. And then they act like he gets cooked up, and they actually spit out a giant
Edible.
life-sized edible Pop-Tart. And it's like this giant cookie and cake.
Yeah.
And the team and the coaches all come eat out. How fucking cool is that, dude?
But Pop Tarts did it right.
Dude, their marketing team is having a heyday.
Exactly. And tired. I'm tired of the Duke's Mayo Bowl trying to steal their spotlight because they tweeted a picture that thought they were funny if they dipped a Pop-Tart into mayo.
Oh my God.
That deserves jail.
That does deserve.
How
jail.
dare they try to steal the Pop-Tart spotlight? Who played in the Duke Mayo Bowl? I don't know. I don't care about Duke's Mayo Bowl. Pop-Tart Bowl. Tuning in every year now. Pop-Tart Bowl is
Yeah.
my game.
Yeah.
All right, and then we got this is another funny, just stupid I saw. New Year's Eve.
Well, this is an old clip.
It was an old clip, but I've never seen it. It was of Gronk, so I guess it is sports related. Was on Rockin' New Year's Eve with Ryan Seacrest, but it was Steve Harvey that was on the screen.
Yeah.
And it was a Steve Harvey Lego
Bust.
bust sculpture, and Gronk picks it up and just smashes it.
Gronk spiked
it.
And Steve Harvey's like, "What is wrong with you?"
And he was not acting, bro. He was dead ass. He goes, "Who is this guy?" He goes, "Why is he even here?" And Gronk just flexes on him, and he like kicks the Legos. He's like,
Because Gronk did an arguably worse one, Gronk spike, and that was at the Tom Brady roast
When
with
he's-
a glass that he was drinking his like bourbon out of.
"Oh yeah, he smashed it, man."
and it was
Mess.
on stage, and literally like shards
glass-
of glass went everywhere.
Like, no, Gronk, no, you're too drunk. You're up here. We need you to be like down here, Gronk. Tune it down.
God.
And that's all I had for Twitter.
Yeah.
OTROT.
OTOT.
Got any? What did you guys do for New Year's? You said went to the casino.
We went to the casino. It was fun.
Yeah.
You guys went on blackjack?
Yeah, I did.
He
dude.
did.
Dude, I was winning every hand, just couldn't lose, and I covered up because I was hitting like top threes and stuff,
Nice.
and I was up to like $300. But he like gave me, or maybe it was like, or no, maybe I only won two. No, yeah, I only won 200 at that point, plus like 215. I had $15 in red chips, so I had enough to keep playing. So I'm
Mhm.
like, fuck it, I don't need these red chips. I keep playing. I keep
Chump
winning.
change to him.
I keep winning. And then I get up to like $45, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm putting all of them on one hand. Dealer gives me a fucking 11. Well, yeah, 11. And the guy, like, that's not with me or Bryce, he's like, you got to double down that. So I recolored in my $25 chip and like other chips to get enough red to match it. And the dealer got to like 17 or 18. So I needed a fucking like 8, 9, or 10 on face card. Queen of clubs shows up because he had it face down.
Oh, so you waited?
Oh man, I was freaking out. But dude, that doubled me up, and then I'm like, okay, that's it. That's it. And
That
I'm
was all
out.
the money you had, and you were put it all on there.
Well, yeah, like they doubled up all the reds. I still
Nice.
had like $180
Okay,
or something.
that's good.
But
Yeah.
then
As soon
as soon as I left, Bryce informed me that the guy that took my spot lost, like, he came in all high and mighty. He had $350. He's like, I just won this. I'm putting it in, like, coloring me up. And Bryce said in a matter of like 2 to 5 hand, like in 2 minutes, the dude like lost it all.
How much was he betting a hand?
Like, I don't know. He was like throwing out 25s and like shit. And like, then he would like double up
Double
and
'em.
like, and like, yeah, it just went all downhill. And I'm glad cause I knew I never do this, but like, I'm like, this is the most I'm ever going to win. Like, I'm just going to lose it all.
There you
So
go.
getting out while I can, while I'm hot.
I'm glad you got a win
And
on
then
New
yeah,
Year's.
went to saw Pat and Elvie rolling craps.
Yeah, we rolled some craps. Elvie brought me back down from the depths.
Nice.
Back up to almost even. So
Nice.
It was I was down in the depths for a little bit, but we were good.
You guys were rolling craps, throwing dice.
Yeah, dude, it was
I've never
fun.
played craps
Oh,
before.
it's so much fun.
It is fun. I was jealous that they have that now. Like it's
Yeah.
virtual. It's virtual.
So
like, you
they
know,
have
you
they
know how
have
you're-
let me explain. So they have a table where they have kiosks like virtual blackjack,
Mm-hmm.
but it's all virtual craps. And instead of getting chips like at a regular table,
Yeah.
it's just all on the screen.
Where
for
did the
you.
dice get rolled at?
So they actually have one person come up. They say, "Hey, do you want to roll on your screen?" And you say yes or no, and most people choose yes. And so then you get up to an actual like bowl where you roll dice, actual dice.
Oh, you
So
throw
it
them
still
yourself?
relies on the player. It's not virtual. It's not like bubble craps where you just press a button.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
You're throwing dice. I mean,
You're
there's-
actually
there's
throwing
not-
dice.
There's not much a player can do for dice.
Right.
But dice games seem fun. A lot of different combinations.
Yeah. A lot of things to bet on too. So
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
My New Year's was pretty chill. Hung out in Soulard, my girlfriend Miranda and all their friends. The only thing at the end of the night, we were leaving around 2 a.m. We were back at their place, and they're up on the second floor. And I didn't hear them at first, but someone said they heard gunshots, like a bunch of them. They sounded close. And I was like, what? And then I went down to the street, and then when the doors open, I did hear like 2 or 3 more. And I see this group of dudes kind of at the corner,
yeah.
and they all start kind of running or kind of like ducking or looking weird. And I yelled at him. I go, "Hey, what's going on?" And this kid crosses the street from where he was at on this side to my side, and he's coming at me with his hands up. And I was like, "Dude," I go, "what's going on down there? Are you good?" He was kind of shaking up. He was like, "Gunshots, man. I don't know." I was like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "I'm trying to get to my buddy's place." And I was like, "All right, man, just get going. Be safe." And then
Dang.
he left, and then
That's
I left. Then I was thinking about it more later, and I was like, that was probably just celebratory gunshots, and those kids were like being pussies. But at first, I
mean-
thought I thought someone was up, because like who comes at you with their hands up like that?
Well, glad you were in that wheelhouse because that's where
That's where someone did get shot.
Damn.
And glad you weren't in NOLA. We're getting run over.
Oh, thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers. That was terrible.
Yeah.
Woke up to that
And Vegas too.
in Vegas. But did anyone die in the?
Well, the
Yeah.
guy that was in the car.
I thought that happened a few days ago.
No, it was on the same morning.
Yeah. Same
That
morning.
happened last night too, at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, like the truck happened at 3:30 in the morning, and then this happened like 8 a.m. Vegas time.
Wow.
It was quiet out.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Scary stuff. Hopefully everyone's all right. But I guess that wraps us up. Anyone else got any last tidbits?
Golf is back. DraftKings Golf is officially back.
Yeah.
Here we go.
New segment coming out next week.
Yes.
Golf
Oh,
segment?
Golf segment
All
coming
right.
out.
Will surprise me. All right. Thanks for listening. I'm Sean McCall.
It's SEO Roper.
And we will see you tomorrow night.
Love you guys.
See you guys.